What is a bigger story in Vancouver this week? The debut of John Tortorella running practice and training camp, or the return of Roberto Luongo?
I'll go with a divorce case coming up.
Okay, well, that's sort of off the beaten track.
Why?
Beaten path.
Is it not a story?
Well, it is, but I'm talking more of a hockey perspective.
Okay. All right. We'll
Yes,
wait
the
for Matt
Aquilini
to come back before we get into that.
Yeah. No, what is the bigger story for this franchise?
I think it's still Roberto.
Yeah.
Right now. How's he going to – is he comfortable with it? Is he going to be okay being there? And then once
yeah, I think
once
that's
the
an
circus comes to
ongoing
town-
one. I'm
Yeah, for a
tired of
while.
that one, to be honest with you. My new one is the Sedins and where those negotiations going.
Remember last time? It went right down to the wire.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like it's a little more
Oh, don't kid
amicable.
yourself. No
No?
chance. Not a chance.
So you don't think it gets you don't think
I'm
it
not
gets
saying
done?
it doesn't get done. I'm
Before
just telling you there's nothing amicable about guys looking for possibly, $100 million between them. There's going to be a dog fight. It'll be.
Does it get done before the start of the season?
I don't think so.
Mhm.
I don't get
I'd
the
be
sense.
surprised, too.
I don't get the sense. You tell me now how this deal has a possibility of getting done when Tortorella and the Sedins haven't played one game. You tell me how that gets done.
Mhm.
Because
So
all you're doing is guessing from there
From which
whether or
side?
not this can work. Both. Tortorella's not going anywhere. So don't you want to find out whether or not you can play for this guy for the next 3 years before you just take the money and run? Right?
You okay over there?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm right. So
think-
it doesn't get done before training camp.
Yeah,
And like they haven't even discussed anything. They had a
There's been
meeting.
no numbers on the
They had a
table.
meeting last week, and it's like, yeah, listen, it's great. It's all. Nobody gets insulted until that first offer is out there, and then this sparks fly.
are they?
Well, and I think that meeting is not unlike what happened with Phaneuf and Kessel in Toronto, as you get a sense, are you guys looking to stay, and do you want to get an extension done?
Well, they're obviously looking to stay.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're not going.
Presumably.
They're not going different places. Like you're
No.
not making Henrik a contract and saying,
No, but
No, it's a package deal, whatever
you
happens.
also are a year away from, we believe, the cap probably going up $7 or $8 million, and they can go play somewhere else.
Mhm.
Listen, if Alfredson can go play somewhere else after all this time, then this is nothing for the Sedins. And oh, by the way, they're represented by the same guy,
the scenario
CAA.
that you bring up with John Tortorella. How realistic do you think that plays a role from the Sedins and all they've heard and all they've seen out of John Tortorella, where you would be hesitant?
A lot. Why wouldn't it be a lot? It's a lot with every player. What kind of relationship you have with the coach? Does he like me?
But is it more so because of what you've seen from John Tortorella over
and the style
over
he
the
wants
years?
to play is
Yeah.
part of it, too.
Yeah, all of it comes into play.
Yeah.
All of it. There's nothing that doesn't go through their mind right now in terms of where their future lies or how this can work. Listen, they've read the quotes. They watch Sportsnet Connected. They see his comments after a game. All of it comes into play. They've got a picture in their minds of what kind of guy Tortorella is. Now, training camp's supposed to tell you whether or not a lot of it's overblown or not.
They have $42 million.
Their first loss will tell you.
Yeah.
Like he's saying all the right things now, and he's a reformed John Tortorella. But once the heat gets turned up and the losses, if they should start to mount, then we'll see how he deals with that. That's
$42
gonna be
million
the test for him.
to 12 guys.
It's a
for next year. That's the
there's two
scenario
sides
next year.
to it too. From an ownership point of view, and Gillis to a lesser extent, are these the guys for the next 5 or 7 years that are going to win you a Stanley Cup? Are these the guys that can get you through the playoffs and get the job done? I would probably think that they've got some questions there too as well. So, before everybody just jumps into both feet, You got to really answer some questions first.
Amazing what one game does for you, eh? That they got within one game,
Mm-hmm.
one win away, and had 2 cracks at it. And now
Yeah.
you sit here and you go, they probably have questions whether or not
Yeah.
they can win a Stanley Cup with them.
The lasting image is more on the face washing
Yes.
than it is of how close we got within 60 minutes.
You're talking about the Marchand stuff.
It's a wide margin. It's not a small margin.
Mhm.
People think of that Stanley Cup. That's what they think about. They think about just the abuse that they took in that series and how it
That they
turned
accepted.
all of it, and how
I think there's a difference
What's
between.
the fine line? If you
Yeah.
win, you turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
If you lose, you were abused.
Yeah, you're right.
You had your nose rubbed in it.
Will this be difficult for Roberto Luongo? The comments are interesting, where he's not giving them a total pass. There's not even close to giving them a total pass.
No.
well he believes that he was promised something and it didn't come through. So he's holding them accountable for that.
If this isn't an Olympic season, do you think he's at training camp? Now that's pure speculation.
Presumably, he wants to get paid to be at training camp.
Well, your
don't get-
option is
Well, you don't get
you-
paid in
yeah,
training camp, but you know what I'm saying. You'd be there to
I agree.
play.
Yes, you're right.
it's really come down to you play or you stay at home. And I don't know. That's a really tough one for any player to just say that I'm shutting it down. I'm not playing.
Well, Tim Thomas.
And
really-
realistically-
no. But that's for different reasons, right? Tim Thomas doesn't want to play. Luongo wants to play. He just doesn't want to play in Vancouver. That's a big difference.
Right. Why are you
So-
getting all hot?
I just really forgot how much you bother me sometimes.
Mid-season
Yeah,
form.
it took me like
53 minutes.
53 minutes. So you get on my nerves sometimes, and we're not even out of the first hour.
Yeah, you got all passionate there, almost angry like. Now you're having a
It's just almost over.
yes, it is almost over.